All right, y'all, happy Saturday. Hopefully everything is going good with you guys. Hopefully everything is straight. I am headed to the gym, trying to get this workout in. And hopefully you guys are doing anything and everything you can to keep upright, stay healthy, and all that other good stuff. Because, I talk about gaming and all this other good stuff and try to, have fun with the hobby or whatever. But one of the most important things is getting your health in order. So, you gotta do that, especially, once you get up there in age a little bit. Me, I'm in my 40s and I love to play video games and I love to do things with my family or whatever. But one thing I do try to stay on top of nowadays is my health. And I try to do health updates. I try to talk to you guys about what I'm doing as far as my, my health and how I'm working out and what I'm eating and everything. And it just don't stop. So I continuously make these videos to show you guys that, hey, this is a long process. This is nothing that happens overnight. But once you get it up and running and rolling, you start to feel absolutely amazing. And this is one thing about me, like, I'm starting to feel that energy. I'm starting to feel that lightness. I don't know if I had to say it, like you feel lighter. You start to feel a lot better. You wake up in the morning and you don't feel heavy. You don't feel like it's a drag to get out the bed. You can get up in the morning and still feel like you can, you can walk around and don't feel like your body is aching. And for me, I know, like, I'm to the point now, I know I've lost maybe like 40, maybe 45 pounds, probably a little bit more than that. I haven't touched the scale because I just don't like looking at the scale because it's a psychological thing. It makes me feel like I need to do more than what I need to do. When I'm not looking at the scale, I just feel like I can pace myself on a daily or even on a weekly basis, where I go to the gym maybe 3-4 times out the week now. Saturdays is the day I really go in and have a really well-rounded workout, more of a little more intense workout. Throughout the week, I do a little bit less because I'm actually working, so I don't want to burn myself out throughout the week. I'd rather try to burn myself out through on Saturday, so on the weekend I can still have a chance to relax. And I'm just saying this to basically say, find your own routine, find your own way to lose weight, feel great, actually get yourself in order, because it's just the outside that people see. But just because your outside may look a certain way, based on what you put in your body, your inside could look even worse. Your bloodstream is not moving fast enough. The air, your oxygen is not moving throughout your body. You got a lot of things that's hindering your weight. You got a lot of things that's hindering your movement. Fat deposits, fat that's all in your body, especially in the midsection, because that's where I am. I'm to the point now. My midsection is like is like my enemy right now. Like I everything else is like on point, but my midsection is really bothering me right now. And I know that it's moving, but to me, like I said, it's a psychological thing. It's not moving fast enough. So not only that, based on what you put in your body, your skin start feeling, your skin start looking better. Your skin starts shining a little bit better. You start glowing a little bit. And I know that sounds kind of crazy because you hear about glowing with women, but no, it's a thing for everybody. Like, your skin has to look healthy. You don't look like your skin doesn't look, like, I don't know what the word look like. It look grayish. It doesn't look weird, you have more glow into your skin, like more shine that comes off your skin and everything. So it's a lot that goes into your health, and I know it's a struggle for a lot of people. It is. So this is why I try to make these videos, to let you guys know, like, hey, I love talking about games. I love playing video games. I love doing all that great stuff. But at the same time, one of the bigger things that we can do is to really maintain your health, because if your health is not in order, you're not going to be able to function anyway. And this is another thing. When your health is on point, when you put the right stuff in your body, when you do those things to make your health a priority, or even put it into some form of your life, you start to think more clearly. You start to see things clearly. You start to talk more clearly. You start to, figure out, things much easier. It's a lot that goes into, just, finding out just to lose weight. It's bigger than that. You know, it's more than just numbers. It's about how you feel and how your body is reacting to the things that you put in your body, the things that you do to your body, lifting weights, jumping jacks, basic walking does a long way. It goes a long way. So there's a lot to go into this. And I really feel that, you know, we as men, we're not doing enough. We're just not. And I will say this before I get out of it, because I don't want to step on anybody's toes or anything like that. And I'm not talking to anybody in Pacific, but we do have, men in general, we have an issue where we're just not trying to stay in shape. Now, there's some men out there that's doing it. I'm going to the gym now where I see. But I know there's a lot, especially in my industry, because I drive trucks, I see a lot of men that just not being, you know, aware of their health, and they're not in shape. They get to these truck stops, they just sit in their truck, they eat, they'll watch stuff on their phone, and I'm like the only one that's out there probably like walking around. I'm doing a little bit of push-ups on the side of the truck, you know, I'm doing a little bit of jumping jacks. I'm just trying to stay in shape because, you know, I want to try to be as healthy and have as much longevity as I can. You know, that's the main goal for me. You know, I have a son, and he means the world to me, and I want to be around for him, because when my dad passed away, you know, he was in his 50s. You know, he was quite young when he passed away, and you know, and me and him didn't get we didn't spend enough time together because of his health. I don't want to be like that. You shouldn't want to be like that. Even if your children has left the nest and gone and doing all, you know, I'm pretty sure they may have grandkids. You want to be around for them. You want to be around for your spouse or your significant other. You want to be around for yourself, you know? And to be quite honest, a lot of us men, man, we are out here, you know, we have our, you know, we have our bellies. We out here looking like we're pregnant. We're not walking, you know, properly. We looking like we're struggling just to get across the street. And that stuff needs to change, guys. That stuff needs to change. We need to get our vitals in order. We need to get ourselves in check. And even if you can't go to the doctor to get your numbers and your vitals checked, the very least you can do every time you get a chance, go for a 10, 15, 20-minute, 30-minute walk. Walking alone, walking and drinking water alone makes a big difference in your health. That alone. Do that on a daily basis or every other week, or do that whenever you can. And I'm telling you, you'll see a difference just by walking and drinking more water. And obviously changing your diet a little bit. But walking, it goes a long way. Look it up. I'm about to go into this gym. Hopefully you guys take heed of what I said. You know, I tried my best to give you guys as much game as possible. I want you guys to be healthy. I want you guys to be on point, you know, because that's the best version of yourself. My goodness, there's a lot of people here today. Jesus Christ. I wonder what's going on. But nevertheless, I'm going to go ahead and get it in, and I'll show you my results on my community tab, and we'll talk again soon. All right, y'all take it easy. Y'all be blessed. Peace.